Have y'all ever done something and you figure, it was a good job, you worked hard at it, it turned out right in your mind, and everything seemed like it was good, and then the more you thought about it, you kind of revamped things and you brought it back out because you knew that you could do better? Now, I'm not talking about the BlackPak Pro. I'm talking about the video that I shot earlier that had all this stuff in it already in a gorgeous setting of the swamp with alligators around me and everything else. And I totally cut my head off in the picture. So anyway, so we're back to redoing it now. But hey, let's get to business. Let's talk about the BlackPak Pro. Guys, I've used the BlackPak for a while, really enjoyed it, thought it was awesome. It did exactly what it needed to do. It served its purpose well. It held gear, it held rods. I honestly did not know that I needed this. And when the Pro was being discussed, I was like, why? Why? And that's the honest truth. I can't tell you how much this should not even be in the same classification. It's so much. Let's just talk about this. All right. The one thing I will say is, you see how I've got my rods configured on here, and I'll show you in a minute. I'm gonna turn around here. All right. This is my back, the back side where I've got it. Now you can configure it however you want. Some people have 3 rod holders on the side, 4 rod holders on the side, so they have 8 rod holders. Put them all in the back. That's one of the beauties of the modular system, is you can kind of do what you want to do with it. Now I put mine just like this for a reason, because one thing for me, a lot of times I'll end up grabbing and if it's behind my back and I'm pulling, when they're too close together, I tend to hang them up. So I set mine up just like this on this one, and I fished with him that way in the swamp for 2 days. And this configuration allowed me to grab what I wanted to. It was easy to see out of the corner of my eye when I could turn around and get what I needed to. Having these on the side and the back, there was no tangling of the rods. So do what you want to do, but this configuration worked out extremely well for me. The other thing that you'll notice on the rod holders, like I said, you could put them however you want to, these. And it tethers off on there, so you won't lose a rod if you go to flip. So it keeps the rods in place. If you're in big water, or you're fixing to run rapids, I would recommend running your tethers around there. And I mean, if you wanted to come back and do them super secure, yeah, you could hook them back onto themselves if you wanted to. But honestly, just looping them up and putting them on the rod, to me, is enough. I mean, it's secure in there. It's holding it. You can see that grip is going to be in there. That rod is not coming out of there. You could tighten them if you wanted to tighten this up a little bit, if you felt like you wanted a little bit more secure. But honestly, it's a cool setup just the way it is. And I wouldn't have even thought about that. Lord knows we've all talked about losing rods and having things fall out of boats and stuff like that. And this wasn't even in the realm of possibility. So small details like that is what makes this thing pretty cool. Let's talk about the rest of it. All right, in addition to the tethers on the rod tubes, YakAttack's really thought about the security of your gear. The latches on the Pro model, they open and close very easily. You could put one in the middle if you wanted to. You could put both of them on here like I did, but they come off, they snap on there real, so you can hear it. And it's going to keep that lid closed. If you set it over on a cooler and it dumps, tailgate of the truck and it dumps, or if you do have a wreck in the water, I mean, we're kayakers, we know stuff like that happens. But this will keep your box from opening up and losing all of the contents to the inside. Another thing that they added to for security were these clips. Now, if you're a one kayak person and you can put these on your bungees in your boat, that's cool. I'm always swapping boats because I'm constantly chasing a picture of a different boat. So I added mine to their own little bungees here. And just, if you were to go underneath, you just act like I'm going around my boat. But they secure up on these clips on the side. And then of course you do the other side as well. And they hold that BlackPak. I mean, come on, it holds it secure. So if you were to roll, I mean, you're not going to lose your gear. And Lord knows, it doesn't take too many boxes of stuff in one of these to where you're into the probably thousands of dollars for some folks that are out there fishing. So very good thing to have, just an extra little bit of security to keep this thing in your boat should the unfortunate happen. Another really cool feature about the lid is it stays. Now, I don't know how many times I opened up a lid and it usually flops over in the water or flops off, and when it flops over in the water, the edge of the lid tends to catch the water, and then you go to close it, and what's it going to do? It's going to dump the water right back up on your gear. So this one, being able to stay where I want it to go, get my gear out, close it back, super quick latch. I mean, even just the redesign of the lid is pretty awesome. The hinges, you can see them. I mean, they're just beefy and overbuilt. Now, I added the tackle webs bag because this is where I put stuff like tippet material, my pliers, bug dope, stuff that I want to get to a lot. I'll just put that in the front of it. Now but that's the beauty of this system, is you see all these little pockets and holes. You can literally mount whatever you want to, wherever you want to, and make it what you want it to be. The handles on the side. Now, if you had all your rod holders on here, you could put the handles on the front and the back if you wanted to. But the handles are very nice, and they've also got a slot in the middle that takes a 1-inch piece of webbing. So if you're in a boat that doesn't have bungee, you could just buy a set of eyelets, you know, one of the gear mount eyelets, whatever you want to do, put that where you could run a strap down and come up through that handle, and that's another way that you can have your stuff secured. While I've got it flipped up on the bottom, you can see that rubber feet. Rubber feet, the cool thing about those are, like in my truck, you know, how many times you hit the brake and everything slides to the front. This one here, you'd have to hit the brakes pretty hard to slide everything to the front. Those rubber feet keep it from sliding around. They also make it quieter in your boat. Very, very nice addition. Like I said, every little detail just, I have no idea how long the team planning sat there and just scribbled on napkins till they got everything straight. But it just amazes me how much stuff went up a notch on this over the OG BlackPak. This is the 13x16 side, and I've had it in both the Bite and I've had it in the Kilroy. It fits fine, and you can check it because there's also a 16x16 coming out, so I turned it side by side just to see. There's also a 13x13 coming out. And a 13x13 I'm very excited to start using with my fly stuff because I like a smaller box for all my fly gear. So, but the BlackPak Pro, like I said, I didn't even think I needed it. Honestly, it was like, I got a BlackPak, I'm good. No, this isn't even in the same realm. This isn't the same pedigree. I'm just this side of needing to get a YakAttack tramp stamp because I'm just so fanboyed out over the BlackPak Pro. I didn't put my putting together video because you guys don't want to see me put together. I did all this by hand, and it is doable by hand. You'll end up with a Popeye arm on one side, but it is doable. But Chris Payne has a wonderful assembly video. If you head over to his page and look at it, it's P-A-Y-N-E, Chris Payne. But look at his assembly video, and that'll help you out a whole lot. The instructions were good in it. I didn't have any trouble following the instructions. I didn't get sideways. I didn't have to undo anything and put it back together. It was cut and dry, and I can't tell you enough how impressed I am with the BlackPak Pro. Hope this helps. Y'all take it easy.